Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
This is Questions, Coffee, Cars 228. For future reference, how do you get a question in?
Follow along on Instagram at Motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday I put a post out asking for questions. Once we gather them, the post is deleted and we start the show.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
321 2025 Mazda CX-5 Signature or Volkswagen Tiguan Highline, R-Line. If you prioritize both luxury and reliability in a 50,000-ish cap space before tax. Why'd you have to throw in reliability?
Okay, so what are they
I
again?
had my answer.
It's the Mazda CX-5 Signature.
Top trim.
Or the Tiggy.
Or Tiggy top trim.
Tiggy Top R.
Which is that performance turbo.
Yeah. Okay, so...
And he's prioritizing both luxury and reliability.
Okay, so the new, so you're talking about the upcoming...
No, he's talking about the 2025.
The current Signature.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think, Andrea's going to go with the Mazda because the Volkswagen is an unknown entity when it comes to reliability, right?
Why does it have to be that way, Volkswagen? Get it together with the reliability.
I was driving Andrea. We were driving out to pick up a car today, and Andrea was with me, and we were driving the GTI. And then I was driving back, and I saw like other GTIs and quite a few Golf Rs. And I'm thinking, these guys are just buying them because it's a bloody good car. Never mind the reliability. They just want the car.
They just want the car.
But if your criteria is all about that
reliability,
then the Mazda, plus the other thing you got to remember, that Mazda has been in market for a long time.
Forever.
It's the 2.5 liter, or you can get the turbo if you want, and with the 6-speed automatic. It's just like a Swiss watch. It's just going to work.
So there you go, CX-5. On the Outback is the heated steering wheel, heated all around and not just 9 and 3. Okay. So it was freezing in Sedona. By the way, I was so cold it didn't stop raining. So I did try it out because I was curious about that as well. Now, these are prototype models, but I have to say...
And U.S. spec cars. They weren't Canadian cars.
So when I did hit it, it's nice and warm, better than the outgoing model. And it is heated all around. But I did find, and I think it's because it's a pre-production model, is that the top part didn't feel as hot as the bottom part. So yes, though, it is heated all around.
I'm glad we solved that.
Mm-hmm. I watch every episode. Is the 235i convertible not reliable? Looking at a low mileage with 50,000 kilometers, but it's almost 10 years old. 240i is almost 7,000 to 10,000 more. Does the B58, is it worth the extra money?
No, it's not. That engine it's got better low-end torque. So the torque comes on at a lower RPM. The newer engine, the torque comes on slightly higher. And for me, I find it's better in everyday situations. The other one's got more power, but the torque is king. And I think that the 2 Series is the best car they have in their lineup. And I think that that's low miles on it. Get it inspected, have it checked outside of whoever's selling it. Get a third party to check it over. But I think it's absolutely a wonderful car. So 10 years old, you're getting to the age, it does have low miles though, it's getting to the age where things like you have to really always, with any BMW, check the cooling system. They have plastic upper and lower, the upper and lower part of the rad is plastic. The expansion tank is plastic. These things can often break. So cooling is one thing you definitely have to get checked.
No, I did a little research for you. It's been a very reliable vehicle. In fact, there are many people who own this who also have low kilometers on it and they don't want to get rid of it. Like they just want to keep it forever. But there are 2 problem areas, the charge pipe and the rear tail lights.
Charge?
Yeah.
What's a charge pipe?
Charge pipe has to do with the turbo.
Oh, okay, okay.
And the rear tail lights, which will eventually cause faults for you. So just keep an eye on that. Maybe double check that when you take a look at the history of the vehicle that you're buying.
And also, if it's part of the negotiation, maybe these things can be changed before you buy it.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I think that, no, it's not worth the extra money to buy the updated engine. The one that's in that car is fantastic. Put it this way, you won't miss it. And the other thing is, if you want more power, and you want more torque, you just get the Dine and Tune done on it, and it's a couple $1,000s typically, and it transforms that engine. Our neighbor has the 435, and I said to him, when you're starting to get bored of the car and you're thinking that you want something else, take it in and get the Dine and Tune done to it. And he did that, and he's like, oh, I love it. It's so good.
He really, and he actually wants to get a 911 one day, but he loves his car so much. By the way, a charge pipe is a component in a turbocharged vehicle that carries compressed air from the turbocharger to the intercooler and then to the engine.
Yeah, so find out if that's being replaced, and maybe part of the deal is that you get them to change it.
Thanks for the great content and love your videos. Thank you. I'm currently driving an Explorer 2025 and considering getting a full-size SUV, and we like the Chevy Suburban the most. However, knowing all the recall with GM's 6.2-liter engine and some newly diesel engines issues, the better choice seems to be going with the 5.3-liter V8. We're being hesitant at this point and wondering if we should hold off for now and let these issues pass for a few years. It's not a bad idea to let them pass. You're right. It's a big recall.
I think the diesel is, for me personally, that's the one I would buy. We were on the trip in Arizona with Subaru for the Outback, and they picked us up in one of the big General Motors SUVs, full-size body-on-frame SUV, to drive the 2-hour drive. There was 4 of us and all our luggage in the back, and it was a diesel. And we said, how do you like the diesel? He goes, oh, I love it. It's just amazing, the fuel economy. It's half of what the gas one gets.
Incredible.
So I would get, that's what I would personally pick.
Now, in regards to the recall on the 6.2-liter V8, the recalled vehicles will be inspected. If they pass the inspection, the dealer will replace the oil filter, the oil cap, add higher viscosity oil. Engines that don't pass the inspection will either be fixed or replaced. So the worry is online, you know, people who own these vehicles are saying, well, how do you know if you pass inspection or not? Like, what are they looking for? What if they miss something? So there is a concern in regards to these.
But they're trying to avoid it, the 6.2. So if you're just going to avoid it, which maybe not a bad way to go. I just wanted
to give
I understand.
The history of that.
So yeah, the 5.3 has been, you know, around a long time. I'm not a huge fan of the power delivery on that engine. For me, it would be the diesel. All that torque, big SUV, great fuel economy.
It's really good. How does the 2026 interior quality feel compared to a 2025 CX-5? The previous materials look higher end. I would have to disagree with that. I think that they are equal. I thought the interior of the 2026 CX-5 versus the 2025 seemed very similar inside. The seats are more comfortable though, more cushioned.
Now granted, we've only seen the top spec.
We have,
right? So that was the one that was on the showroom floor. It's the top spec. Not the showroom, the auto show floor. And we have driven lower spec CX-5s. There isn't a huge difference in terms of the materials on the inside other than seats. That's kind of where they focus on. The interior is the interior. It's new. And the seats on the CX-5 that currently we don't love, so we're going to have to spend, you know, some real seat time in the new one. But just in the few minutes we've been in it, it seems better.
And I know people hate the large screen that's being offered, and so many features are done in the screen. You know, lack of buttons, all of that stuff. But while some people liked the previous model's infotainment system, it's slow and, you know, it's old. And so when I was speaking to the PR rep from Mazda at the mobility show in Japan, he's like, man, we can't win. It's like we've come out with this new infotainment system. It's faster. It's better. It does a lot well, and people are still complaining. Yet with the old model, they were complaining.
You know what's interesting is, I've said this before, car companies will say whatever it takes to move the vehicles that they're currently selling. Like, for example, if you asked Subaru 2 months ago about the 11-inch infotainment system they have in the Outback, they would tell you it's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
It's amazing.
Now they've got the new system that all the buttons have been taken out of the screen and put into physical keys and buttons. Now that's the best system ever, Andrea. You know why? Because that's the one they're trying to sell now.
Although they still won't admit, I feel, that the 11.6 is not that great because all the other models have it. So they're still like saying, Is it really that bad?
Yes.
Is
It's
it?
well, if it was so great, then why did you change it?
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. What are your thoughts on new car technology and its reliability? It seems I never take a car in for mechanical issues, but all the time for tech glitches and gremlins. How can manufacturers improve in this regard? You're right. These vehicles are loaded
Yeah, but
with tech.
just statistically, a car today is way better made than it was years ago. Everybody
sure.
talks about, oh, the old days. You know, the old days, you'd see cars broken down on the side of the road. Tire technology is better. Oil technology is better. The tolerances to which these engines are made is like so much more precise, but it's all the add-ons.
And we see this in studies that we do, that we share with you, is that these vehicles aren't breaking down because of typically engine failure or any problems with it. It has to do with electronics and screens going black, or they're difficult to use and people don't like them. And that's where the negative comments come from. Or many of the negative comments in these surveys that will skew a brand much lower. Not so much about the powertrain.
A couple of things I'm curious about is, or one thing I'll suggest, the longer the technology has been in the marketplace, we've talked about the CX-5 already. So that infotainment system is older. It's not as quick as some newer systems, but it has kind of proven itself out over the years. So that's fine. My big question is, when all of these cars are aging out, when they're 15 to 20 years old, are you going to be able to get any of these electronics? Are you going to be able to find the stuff that we're so tech laden now? Are parts going to be readily available for all this stuff?
There's already a problem with parts. Like I hear from viewers who own a new vehicle and something's not working right, and they're waiting 8 to 12 weeks for a part. Like I can't even imagine if it was my only vehicle. And then another viewer also told me, and of course this is going to be different in the US versus Canada, maybe province to province based on insurance. But when it comes to actually getting a rental vehicle, let's say, like say your vehicle's in the shop for 12 weeks, instead of just providing you with a rental vehicle for that period of time, it's based on budget now.
Whose
and
budget?
How much the insurance company is willing to give you each month. So I said, well, what if the vehicle's in for longer than what the budget is? And he goes, then it's on you to pay.
Well, that's when you get the squeaky wheel with the dealership and say,
Yeah.
what are they going to do for you?
For sure.
There you go.
Do you think there is sufficient consumer demand for EV sedans such that manufacturers will start making more models instead of just continuing to electrify SUVs? What's your favorite EV sedan?
Oh, I know my favorite EV sedan.
All I can say is this: no, EV sedans are not what people are looking for. They're not looking for sedans. They're looking for SUVs, which is why Subaru with the Outback went from a wagon look to a blend of an SUV and a wagon.
Yeah,
because it's what consumers are demanding.
The market share of sedans shrinks every year, and the market share for what they call light truck, which includes SUVs and pickup trucks, continues to grow. Right now, it's about 15% for sedans, and that's all sedans. And then you have to shave off the ones that are electric, and it's really a small number. For me, my favorite sedan electric vehicle is the i4 from BMW.
Yeah,
it's
that's
really
a great
good.
one. Because it drives like a gas model. That's the beauty of it.
And also, there was a study, I can't remember what, we talked about it in questions before, that the i4 from BMW has the highest satisfaction and good repair record with it as well.
Yeah.
So people who have the i4 are very happy with it.
Yeah, I like it too. And in Vancouver, Model 3s are super popular as well. In the current market, especially in the US, is it worth trading in my 2021 Subaru Forester Premium for a luxury upgrade like a BMW X5 or a Lincoln Aviator? It's a big step, but at the same time, I've been happy with Subaru's dependability for the last 10 years. I do have to drive a lot for work and would prefer a smoother, more comfortable ride. That's exactly where you're going to get it with the luxury brands. It's the driving dynamics that are a huge difference between luxury versus non-luxury.
Yeah, and if you're driving a lot, probably doing more highway driving, And that's where, those import brands, well, not so much the Lincoln, but the BMW will definitely feel good on the highway and good power with that 6-cylinder, a beautiful engine. So yeah, it's a massive jump, but you have to be, like I always ask people, have you ever owned a luxury car before? Because it's a big pill to swallow if you've never owned a luxury car when it comes to the maintenance and the perishables like brakes and tires are very expensive. So yeah, just go into it with your eyes open, knowing that you're moving into a different realm of car ownership. You get more car, but you pay more for the car and for the maintenance.
You certainly do. I'm a fan of your work. Oh, thank you. I like the driving dynamics of sedan, but I like the height of an SUV. Any recommendations, preferably in a hybrid? Well, there aren't a ton with a hybrid, but the Crown Signia by Toyota is one to look at if you're looking for a hybrid. Or if you're okay with the gas model, then the new Subaru Outback or even the old model.
And if you
that was a wagon.
If you live in the United States, you can do the CX-50 from Mazda. Sorry, I'll Americanize for you. Mazda. The Mazda CX-50 is a car/wagon, and it's got a hybrid available using the Toyota hybrid system. So that really is kind of the sweet spot. So if you're sending us a message from the US, I would go and try that one for sure.
For sure. I was interested to hear that hybrids are maybe not recommended if annual driving is less than 10,000 kilometers. Which compact SUVs, non-hybrid, have the best gas mileage? Might save a few $1,000s going with a non-hybrid SUV.
Okay, so I just want to jump in here because we did recently have a question on Questions, Coffee and Cars. And I think the person said they only drive like 5,000 K a year, and is it worth it? And they lived in the prairies where it was very cold. And they said, is it worth the, and you don't get the same fuel economy in the winter. So that was our answer, is that maybe just a regular gas SUV would be better. And I think that's where your question starts.
Yeah, and also the 12-volt battery with the hybrid. If you don't drive it a lot, then it can be a problem. Here's something interesting, because the UX sometimes has a problem with the 12-volt battery, as does the Prius plug-in hybrid as well. So you've got to drive it, or we recommend trickle charging it. However, we were at a dinner party on the weekend, and the last time I saw this friend of ours was at the dinner party, because we have mutual friends. And she was interested in buying a Lexus UX. And guess what? She bought it. And you know what I said?
No, she got the NX, didn't she?
No, another one bought the NX.
Okay.
But another friend got the UX. And I said, oh, how are you loving it? Oh, I love it. I love it. So I guess do you have any problems with the battery? Why? No. Why do you say that? I said, oh, you must be driving it a lot. And you know what she said? We hardly drive it. In fact, we went away for a whole month and came back, and it just started just like that. And I go, that's wonderful. So I guess maybe it's hit and miss with the battery. Anyway, we recently put out a top 5 compact non-luxury SUVs, our top picks. And 2 of them on the list that were gas models actually got pretty good fuel economy. They were the best. And it's the Subaru Forester, non-turbo, which is all you get. You don't get the turbo. But and then the other one was the Honda CR-V gas model. Those
the CR-V is not bad. Yeah. So listen, so the reason I bring up the last question is that, you're kind of at the mileage, so that's double what the last person was asking about. So you're kind of at the mileage where it actually might make sense for you, actually probably does make sense for you, because to go from a gas to a hybrid, especially in the Toyota world, they dominate that space, isn't that much more. And you will get better fuel economy and also better resale value in the long run.
Yeah.
So don't throw away the idea of buying a hybrid. I would definitely, you're right at the mileage where it's gonna be worth it for you, I think.
I think so too. I think 10,000 is a pretty good chunk per year. Any idea why Kia adds features in lower level vehicles in their lineup, like the Sportage? yet removes them from higher level vehicles like the Sorento. The 2026 Sportage got all the features they removed from the 2026 Sorento. Trying to push more sales on lower level vehicles perhaps makes it annoying for returning customers who don't want to move down a size level as we feel like we're getting ripped off. Okay, so
Are you saying that they're not available at all, or you have to pay more for them?
this is what I don't understand, is because I went online. First off, the 2025 Sorento in Canada. I don't know if you're in the US or Canada, but I looked at Canada. The 2026 Sorento gas model isn't listed yet. So I went to the 2026 Sorento Hybrid, and I don't know what features you're talking about that are not there, because everything is there.
Okay,
I went through it all, and I don't see anything.
I'm just trying to remember where the Sportage is made. If the Sportage, for example, I'm just running it, the idea, I don't know off the top of my head.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, if the Sportage is made in the U.S., then there's no tariffs. So maybe if it's an American car that they're bringing in from Korea, they've decontented it to bring the price down for tariffs. That's one explanation.
So it says the Sportage is made in South Korea and the United States.
Yes, now find out about the Sorento. I guarantee you the Sorrento's made in Korea. I don't know, I'm just guessing. That's my only explanation, because Andrea you looked up the Canadian one and it was fine. So
I don't know what is missing. I'm looking.
Okay, where is it made? It's made in South Korea and the United States.
And the United States.
Yeah, so I don't know what's up there.
And I looked up the Sorento. It has heated and ventilated front seats. This is the hybrid, because it's the 2026 hybrid. Heated steering wheel, leather seats, driver seat memory, power driver and passenger seats with lumbar support, panoramic sunroof, power lift gate, surround view monitor, etc.
Maybe the base model doesn't have. I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that question is, other than it could be tariffs at play. Because maybe the hybrids come from Korea. I don't know.
I don't know. But all I'm saying is that when I look at the specs, it seems like everything is there. So if you want to add another question for the next time and be more specific, we're happy to review that.
So I'm at home and I want to get, like, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll take you up on that, Andrea.
Okay.
I need to get a question in to follow up. How would I do that?
Well, Zach.
Let me write this down. Okay, go ahead.
Follow along on Instagram at Motormouth_Andrea.
Slow down there. What is it?
Motormouth_Andrea.
How do you spell that?
I'm not spelling it. It'll just come up.
There's only so much I can take this gag.
Yes. Anyway.
And then you get a question in.
Yeah, you get a question, and I post on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Okay. And
actually, I just go into the kitchen and say, Andrea, what's the answer to this? Okay, that's it. We're all done.
Got it. Yes.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.